Welcome to the Firing Squad Podcast, where four guys talk about blazing hot topics that they discuss when no one else is around. No fluff, no bull. They tell it like it is. And now, here is the squad.
Yo, what's up? This Ham. This is another episode of Firing Squad Podcast. We got the usual suspects -1, right?
Yep.
This your boy Ham. We got Lance in the studio.
What up?
We got your boy Rope.
We back.
Yep. And we got Lyles.
Yo.
Creek is out doing hood rat things with his family.
Yep.
I'm just joking. He actually doing. They're going to the African American Museum, so I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, in DC.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yep.
good. Yep.
I don't know. How did he get? I thought it was like a year waiting list to get in there.
Yeah. I know, right? You
Yeah.
can get the tickets kind of early sometimes, or get them from somebody who are not using them. 'Cause my wife went already too.
Damn.
Yeah, you can get in.
I got to get up there.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it's probably
You
white
know
people
what's
selling them
crazy,
on
though?
the secondary market.
What's up?
You know what's crazy, though? Like, nowadays, when it's spring break, people take their kids on vacations, like families go on vacations and stuff. When I was in school and I got spring break, all that meant was like a week around the house.
Yep.
Like,
I've never been on a spring break vacation.
I sleep in and play video games.
It was a
It was a break.
it was a staycation.
Yeah, no, it was a legit break though. It was a spring
It
break.
was literally like a spring break from school.
Yep.
What
You
about
ain't go
summertime?
anywhere.
Did you take like the summer vacations?
Nope.
though? 'Cause my family
Nah.
did.
Nah.
Damn.
We did, man.
We got shipped off to Florida with my other family.
I didn't even go to Disney World until I got married. So,
My mom when I lived in Nashville, my mom would ship me to South Carolina to my grandparents' house for the summer. That was my vacation. I came to South Carolina, to Jonesville for the summer.
damn. Jonesville.
To Jonesville.
Yeah, like man. Oh,
Shout out to Jonesville.
shout out to Jonesville, Spartanburg, close to Spartanburg. Is that Spartanburg County or Union?
Yeah. No, it's Union County.
Union County. Okay, I got you. All right, fellas, we got a lot to get into. Rope, we're gonna pay the bills now or what?
Oh, we jump in.
Yeah, we got to plug Featherstone until we get our website up, man. So attention, entrepreneurs and business owners. The Featherstone Agency is giving away 50 coupons to save 60% off your business breakthrough package. Download your coupon now to save $240. This offer is a perfect combination of web development, graphic design, and business coaching for entrepreneurs at any stage looking to take their business to the next level. Download the coupon now at fllc.co/firing squad. Again, that's flc.co/firing squad. Get ready for your breakthrough.
Word.
Yeah.
Website coming soon.
That'll be up soon. Yeah, it's coming soon.
For real. All right. So let's get into for obvious reasons. We have to start with the Gamecocks.
Oh, yeah.
Go Gamecocks.
National champions.
So we had our women's basketball team won the national championship. First one for Dawn Staley. Big shout out to Dawn Staley. Big shout out to Asia Wilson, the female Tim Duncan.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question for y'all. Preseason, not women's, because women's, the expectation was the Final Four and to play for the ship, just based on what we had coming back. If I told you preseason that the men's would play in the Final Four but lose, would you take it?
No.
Yeah.
You would take it. You wouldn't take it?
No, you say, would I take it?
Yeah.
Take that out. Yeah, I absolutely would.
Take it, yeah.
I thought you meant like take your word, like believe like what you were talking about.
Would you take it if I just said we make the tournament?
Yeah.
Probably so, yeah.
I would have taken
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simply because we had 7 people total. How many people got kicked off? Was it 4? We had the Lithuanians and Carrera. So 3 graduated and 4 got kicked off. So just the sheer fact that we had 7 people gone from the previous team that should have been in the tournament, I thought it was almost a 0% chance that we make it.
True.
So, yeah, I don't think there's any there's no honest Gamecock fan if you'd have asked them preseason if we'd have made the tournament, beat Duke, Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four, nobody would have believed you.
Nope.
Yeah, you're right.
So Dawn Staley,
Right,
Dawn Staley has some accomplishments too.
Yep.
That people may not know. So Dawn Staley joins Carolyn Peck as just the second African American female head coach to lead an NCAA D1 basketball team to a national title. Number one. So number two, Dawn Staley is the first women's Final Four most outstanding player to win a national championship as a head coach.
Wow.
All right, and number three, Dawn Staley is the first Olympian, former WNBA star, and AA to be named coach for the USA women's national basketball team. So that's a pretty big deal.
So recruiting about to go up another level.
Yeah, to another level.
Yeah.
I'm still honestly,
Coach K.
I'm still buzzing from the ship on Sunday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this new. Let's talk about this new phenomenon or newly recognized phenomenon, because before it used to be just like, hey man, you a bandwagon person, you jumping off. But there's a whole nother thing, and I think some rules need to be set aside for the multiple Division I fan person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I have the first one. If you go to a Division I school or a school that does not field an athletic team in that sport, you have full reign to choose another Division I school of your choice.
But first right should be, I think, to set parameters, I think first right should be home state school.
Oh, you keeping it
or
there.
A school that your parents went to.
Okay, so
Or
Yeah.
so if I'm going for
brother.
football, if I attend Winthrop, they have a basketball team, but I want a football team to root for. I first have to choose either go in-state or parents.
Or parents.
Okay.
Or siblings.
Or siblings.
It's got to be like not first cousins. It's got to be like some sort of direct link to the school.
So,
Immediate family.
Immediate family, yep.
Because I think it's pretty deplorable for you to go, like my homeboy Jeffrey. This dude, he's a Georgia Bulldog fan for football and a Kansas Jayhawks fan for basketball.
Oh, I know that dude. How? Yeah.
Where's the correlation?
Has he ever lived in Kansas?
Yeah, he's from Kansas.
Okay, so then I give him that.
Yeah, he's from Kansas and then lives in South Carolina, Columbia. Never lived in Georgia, but you're a Georgia Bulldogs fan. Right, like diehard.
Yeah, I know that dude.
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, and then Runye, I'm gonna call you out too, bro, because you like Florida State in football, and then I just saw on Facebook yesterday you a Tar Heel. How?
Who is that? Who?
Runye, man, homeboy Runye.
Who?
But I was at, and then even Warren. How?
Oh, I thought he said me. I was like, hold up.
No, Runye.
No, how Warren?
Warren. Okay, so Warren
Ran track for Clemson.
If you run track, if you go to a school, then all bets are off.
Yeah. Your football team won a national championship, but you talking about go Tar Heels.
You can't claim them like that.
So,
you can like another. I used to like the Tar Heels. Truth be told, in undergrad, it would hurt me more to see the Tar Heels lose in basketball than South Carolina, because nobody grew up South Carolina fans.
Not basketball, yeah.
But once you go to an institution, you ride or die. And furthermore, once you graduate from an institution, you become fanatical.
Yeah.
That's why older people are more crazy fans than the younger. In school, you only care about partying, getting out of school, getting a job, so on and so forth. You wear other team stuff. We had Georgia hats. We had all kind of stuff that we would wear. Anything that was red, we would wear.
Yep.
But now I wouldn't even think of putting any other team on my body that I don't have a direct association to.
Not at all. Yeah, my parents went to Florida State. Well, both of them have degrees from Florida State. I was a big Florida State fan.
So Runye.
Until I went to Carolina.
So Ham can claim Florida State, you can't.
But I haven't seen anybody practice this whole dual fanship down. They always going for the cream of the crop. I ain't never seen anybody who like a random Ball State fan and then Wyoming basketball.
I got a buddy that's a Ohio State college football fan and a Duke basketball fan.
How convenient. That's what the how is. How convenient, mother.
No, hold up. I got one even worse. So my LB, shout out to Merv D's.
Oh,
Merv was going for Duke. He was going for Duke against Carolina.
Wow.
And they gonna have the audacity to have a cut the neck shirt.
He was straight flip. When the Gamecocks won, he was straight back on Carolina. But he was going for Duke against Carolina.
And was a member of and he was a Gamecock football player.
His last Lance Brown's the only person I know that should be going for Duke.
And you know what? Even I didn't do that against when we played each other, and that's why I made sure I put it on Facebook and I screen printed it so it was timestamped before the game. Yep. They knew who I was rolling with, because you can't. Your undergraduate place is where your heart is. Period.
And what's synonymous with master's degree? Is secondary?
Yep.
is in the description.
It is.
Like, yeah, that's what you default to when everybody else is playing. So how about the impact of the state? So if you were Clemson, right, Carolina's pretty, lukewarm in terms of buzz around the state. You just won the Natty. People just figuring out where you're located. People kind of still think you may be in South Carolina or North Carolina or Virginia or North Georgia or something. So people finally figuring out where you are. It's January. The game was in January, right?
Yeah.
It's like 2 months later, and now you are a far cry from anything in terms of buzz in South Carolina. How you think they feel about that? Because they act like they don't care, but they care. That
we got that ship in their shadows.
Yeah, and all that press.
And that Final Four run in their shadows. They definitely care. Because that's why I posted on Facebook. The new thing is that they demean the championship of our women's championship. Yes. Which is crazy to me, because that means they probably think women should get paid, $1. Yeah. They should get paid cents on the dollar, or they shouldn't be allowed to vote. It's the same mindset. It's like a championship is a championship, especially in any of the big four sports. If you get one in baseball, football, basketball, on any level, and I would go ahead and throw soccer. I think people celebrate soccer. Yeah. Because when you talk about North Carolina, people always talk about all them Mia Hamm. Yeah. And if you talk about basketball or you talk about Tennessee, I think more of Pat Summitt than I do of Phil Farmer.
Yeah. And softball is big too, though. Yeah. If you win the softball Natty.
In Connecticut, you think of Gino. So,
Gino, yeah.
Yeah, so they're closet misogynists. So that's the way that there's a little trump card for them.
Yeah, because you can't even go with the rim is shorter or something, or whatever. I mean, the same court. I mean, we're not even going to get into that because we're not misogynists.
Well, and two, you can't tell me how I felt when that buzzer struck triple zeros and the Natty was in hand.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we have, and as an institution, we claim more. We have more national championships than the University of Clemson.
Oh, and guess what? Our women's average 15,000 fans, and your men's average less than 8. So, but in Phoenix, so me and Lance went. Me, Lance, and Ant, Jamal, Carlton. Shout out to them. We all went out to Phoenix for the Final Four, and there was a couple observations. One being that a lot of us don't travel for the Final Four. Apparently, us meaning black people. Like, it was to the point where we saw the same group of black dudes 3 days in a row. That's how we made that commercial, because they was looking for black faces, all jokes aside. Right. When we went out to the game, we were at the arena, there was just no black faces. And every time you saw a black person, you were when you not around a lot of black people and you see somebody, you get over your greetings, you get overly exaggerate your greetings. Yo, what up, man? What up? You dying to see one, and you super happy when you see one. That's how I was, man. And then I'm gonna go ahead and say, there's no black people at Gonzaga. I didn't see not one. Oh no. Other than the athletes.
What state is Gonzaga in?
California. No, it's Washington State.
Right? Okay,
Washington State.
That was a legit question. No shade for real.
But what's funny is that was an insult. That was one of the derogatory chants, the stuff they would say to the Gonzaga fans. They'd be talking about what state is there, and they'd be like, this in California. It's a bad school in California. That was derogatory to them. Yeah, I had my troll game ready because they're gonna talk shit, and I'm all right, y'all are in California. It'd be good to bring a championship back to the state of California. And they're like, wait, we're not in California. Exactly. All right, so while we're on basketball,
so Gonzaga is University of Washington's Clemson.
Yeah, except worse. I think they got they're right the size of Wofford, 3,000 kids. Oh, 3,000 to 6,000, I think. Maybe Wake Forest. How big is Wake Forest? It's small like that.
Yeah, but them jokers fell off in basketball, man. They used to be a bit of a powerhouse.
Tim Duncan.
They must have stopped cheating.
Man. So, keeping in the basketball theme, Lavar Ball. I'm gonna go last because everybody has their own opinions about this dude. If no one knows who Lavar Ball is, he is the epitome of helicopter dad. He has three sons. One is what's the oldest son? Is that just declared for the draft? Lorenzo. Lonzo Ball, who is the number one. I think he was the number one player in high school. He's first team All-American this year. He'll be first in the league. Then he has a middle son that's going to UCLA that I don't even know his name.